right, was upon the face of the earth. And before the forming of the material realm that we know of, this darkness and chaos, when we look at the beginning and the origins of the fall, the Nephilim, the nightfall, the Neat, when we look at these months from September, October, November, understand why the burr is put upon these months of the 7th, 8th, and 9th, 10th month, but they're not the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th month in our calendar because they added July and August for Julio and Augustus. July and August into the calendar, it messed up the calculations of how we would say these months linguistically. So September, instead of being the 7th month, is now the 9th month. October, instead of being the 8th month, is the 10th. November, instead of being the 9th, is the 11th. December, instead of being the 10th, is the 12th. That ring, right, when we understand the Ursa, the stars, constellations, in the Bering Strait, understand that this portion here of land is mostly ocean and sea. So we're talking about hibernation and the crossing of Abar, Hebrews, Ibri, during this time after the tabernacles and these different feasts, after the time of going into the 8th month into the 9th month, we see that this crossing starts to begin to where we get to the winter solstice, when you're crossing over the horizon, over where. So when we look at keeping the score, keeping the tally of your reign on the books of Libros during this time of the bookings, after the coronation begins in the fall, during this time of Virgo, then September, now the tally, and now the crossing begins from Goat Mountain across the cap of the coronation of the, why we see the 3 wise men and a lot of these tellings around the sun. Now, all of these things are based upon the mathematics and calculations, because these are dealing with functional planning, right? And how our body is related to the Earth's body, and how these cycles, daily cycles, have an effect on our psyche, and how these things are used to capitalize for capitalism. But understand, these animals make these preparations for their hibernation for these 6 months of darkness. As you see, the wolf, the Arctic wolf, that gets his coat ready for the winter, and begins. So when we look at the fur trade and these different trading, we got to understand the trade winds, and how the trade winds and these particular times and these crossings and these seasons, the monsoons, during these particular months, when we follow these holy days, and the crossings, the pilgrimages, the 3 pilgrimages, understand, the first pilgrimage is here for the 7th month, the next pilgrimage, and then the next. So we understand this tripod, this triangle of the crossing of these Hebrews, these ancient Hebrews that kept these laws. We understand Abar to cross, and the crossings of these Christians. Sets in the west, enters the mouth, and rises here in the east. So these calculations of these times and these seasons are essential to understanding the pilgrimages and the scriptures, and why the holy days and the calculating of holy days was so essential to the earth, and the keeping, to making sure that the name of the Most High was throughout the whole earth. So hope we understand this is dealing with the Hebrew, breaking down hibernating Hebrew, Abar, crossover to a region beyond, and how for 6 months, right, during this particular time, just like for 3 months, the first trimester of birth, second trimester, third trimester, did it in spring, we have the new year. Peace. Hope this makes sense. Fall to spring, and so